Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Welcome back to What's on the Playlist today. So today, what's on the playlist is Bonnie Raitt's "Give It Up," which you'll see an image of right here. "Give It Up" is actually Bonnie Raitt's sophomore album. It's her second album. Because and the reason I'm doing her sophomore album instead of her debut is because I don't actually have a copy of her debut album on hand. So we'll do this one. "Give It Up," second album. Although Bonnie Raitt is considered if you look up by genre, she's considered a blues artist, but her style is really a mix of blues, soft rock, folk music. It's kind of her own thing. It's to my ear, it's reminiscent sort of like the old time lounge singer. I hate to say lounge singers, but like you know, back in like the 30s and stuff like that, when you would have a singer come up on stage. You'd have these nightclubs where you'd have like a big band, you'd have some singer come up and perform. Her voice has kind of like that smoky quality, and she reminds me of that era of lounge singers. Nowadays, people like hear lounge singer, you think there's like cheesy, cover bands. But I mean, back like in the 30s and stuff like that, you had these, you know, performers who would, do popular music and stuff like that, and sometimes originals. But it was, it had a bit more class to it than what we traditionally think of as lounge singers. But again, that's kind of what her voice reminds me of. Some of that might be because of my family's history. My great grandmother was actually a professional 1930s lounge singer. I think it was my great grandmother. I have a photo of her somewhere. But yeah, I do come from a family of vocalists, runs in the family. This album also had Bonnie Raitt's first commercial success. It's her first charting had her first charting song on it. I don't remember which song it is. I apologize. This album also did very well, considering that most of the songs are actually cover songs or it's written by someone else. Bonnie Raitt actually only wrote 3 songs on this. One of them was written by Jackson Brown. I think it's Too Long at the Fair. Yeah, that's a Jackson Brown tune. But it was critically well received. It did, again, had her first real commercial success, even though it wasn't her best charting album ever. It was her first taste of success. Even retroactively, historically, people saying, going back on one of the great records of all times, Rolling Stone magazines and stuff like that, they still say this is, a solid piece of work by Bonnie Raitt. And just for anything, this is still considered a good album, 50 some odd years later. I've actually been privileged to say that I've seen Bonnie Raitt perform at least once. She opened for James Taylor. It was actually a combined concert because she didn't just, open for him. They played duets. She played her set, he played his set, and then they came out and did a set together. So it wasn't quite the opening performance. It was a dual concert. It was a very good show, and she does put on a good show. And I've seen her, on YouTube and TV and video stuff. Like she's just a great performer. A very soulful voice. She really puts her emotions into her music. So I really enjoy listening to this. Coming back to my family's musical history, this is a bit different than what you normally see in my music collection. Even though I love her music a great deal, my mother was also a vocalist, not professionally, but she sang a great deal. She sang all the time in the house, and she loved female vocalists. Bonnie Raitt was one of them. I kind of inherited this from my mother. So I listened to her music growing up. I listened to this album and lots of other Bonnie Raitts. There were other female vocalists too, but Bonnie Raitt is one of the only ones that I've actually managed or bothered to make the effort to collect on my own of my mother's musical passions. She liked a lot of other female vocalists. Too many for me to list here, but Linda Ronstadt, that type of that type of music was her thing. This type of music was her thing. I can't think of any of the names right now. I'm blanking, but as kids, we inherit a lot of stuff from my parents. I have, You know, some of the blues artists that I like, I got from my father. He's a big blues fan. Couldn't sing his way out of a paper bag. He's not musically inclined. He just likes music. But yeah, Bonnie Raitt, I got my love of her from listening to it growing up in the house. My parents didn't have a large music collection, but they, you know, Bonnie Raitt, we had a fair amount of. Um, you know, well, something we knew we could get my mother for Christmas and stuff. It's like, what can we get mom for Christmas or her birthday? Get her new Bonnie Raitt album. It was an easy pick. I really love her music. You know, can't recommend it highly enough. I realize it might not be for everyone, especially some of the older stuff, such as this. I won't say it's dated per se, but it does feel like something that came out of the early 70s. Was it 72? Yeah, 1972. Doing the old man, you know, have to look outside my glasses things. Because I need bifocals because I'm old. But this definitely does have the feel of, you know, early soft rock music from the early 70s. Kind of soft, like folk / soft rock music. So, you know, like I said, it is kind of dated, but kind of not. I hate saying that because it's still solid music, even though it's an early part of her music. Her repertoire, can't say expanded, but she more embraced her rock music later on, the rock style. Her style has shifted a bit. Not quite as soft, not quite as but even then, you know, some of the stuff still got a good beat to it. So take that as it will. I will recommend the music because I love it. As always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, what you gonna do? And as always, good hunting.